Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are back on the Super Micro Computer chart, and here we are still tracking these developments within this as a larger wave 4. Nothing unexpected has really happened, no further developments that affect the overall larger structure, and we focus once more within the smaller time frame where we haven't managed to yet break down and extend into an additional low as per our primary expectations. But we have also not broken any of the resistance levels, and we actually see some quite interesting developments in this area we can track some additional data for. So, to provide the context of this overall correction, we are looking at a larger potential leading diagonal. Currently, we would be within the larger wave 4. We expect to form a reversal into higher prices from the support zone between $18.4 down to $5.7. And as long as we do not break the levels of support for such a structure, we can expect the wave 5 to play out. Now, the thing is, within this correction, it is unlikely that the wave 4 already has a bottom in place. Technically possible, currently it is extremely unlikely. We have already nearly extended to new lows, and our primary interpretation is this orange structure where this would have been a wave A down, we would have here a wave B up, and now we would be within a wave C to the downside. This wave C can actually be tracked as an impulse, where we have the wave 1 down in place, the wave 2 up in place, and then the wave 3 would be currently unfolding. We are still technically tracking this potential extension to higher prices, but this is a pretty removed scenario. It's very unlikely for this to actually work out. But in case we actually break these levels of resistance, yes, sure, we could see something like a reset of this wave B, but within my primary expectations, I would probably still prefer to extend to lower prices afterwards. And if you want to be a part of this journey as we track these developments and future opportunities on this chart, I would encourage you to subscribe, as we will keep a close eye, and especially when we have a potentially full structure in this correction, will be a quite interesting buying opportunity, particularly if we manage to form a structure that would provide some confirmation that a bottom would be in place. Now, currently, as I was saying, we would still be within the wave 3, and in this structure we are tracking an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Within this wave 3, we would expect typically to form at least one more low before having a more clearly full count in this structure, and based on the consolidation at such low levels, I would still strongly prefer for this to be the main outcome, the main scenario to be tracked. So, in this wave 5, we have been tracking a couple of ideas. We have the possibility to track this wave 4 in orange as a triangle. We have provided very relevant ideas for such a development, and it would have signaled when this structure was going to break down before it actually broke down. Right, we had these trend lines to suggest when this idea of a triangle was likely coming to an end. We broke below it, and not long after, we have extended, actually the very next day, into much lower prices. Now, nonetheless, this is already past. Now we are tracking in this overall structure to the downside either a triangle in white. This could imply actually further extensions within this wave 3 even. It doesn't need to have a bottom in place. And then we would be looking still afterwards for resistances for a wave 4 and then a wave 5 to have a more clearly complete count. Then we have the blue interpretation, which can assume the wave 4 to have topped here. This would be a larger ending diagonal. In both cases, we are tracking a diagonal structure, by the way. And then this would be a 1, 2, and this would be our larger wave 3 to the downside, where, once again, we would be looking at an A, B, C pattern to be in formation here. Even in this case, we would still track an internal wave 4 of this larger wave 3 to the downside, right? In both interpretations, we are actually tracking an internal area of resistance for continuation to lower prices before a wave 3 bottom would be considered available. Now, in the smaller time frame, we have an initial 3-wave move to the upside. We can consider that a top would be in place. We really do not need any further extensions. I would also consider that this could technically work out as an initial 5-wave move to the downside, but I wouldn't get too attached to this scenario at this point, since it is within a very small time frame And the structure is not the most clear interpretation of this movement. Nonetheless, we can track an area of resistance for both white and blue interpretations that can allow us to extend directly to lower prices, and this goes up to the 78.6% retracement, against which we can expect to still find strong pressure to extend directly lower. Now, depending on which scenario ends up playing through, the white or the blue interpretation, we would expect different patterns. Within the white structure, we would expect a 5-wave structure, right? A 5-wave pattern. Within the blue interpretation, we would instead only expect an A, B, C pattern, although even this could get quite extended. We do not need to have a bottom within the wave A itself. The wave A could extend into a larger pattern, have this as a larger wave A, then get a wave B and extend to even lower prices. It would be more difficult to track the blue interpretation. An ABC pattern is certainly much less predictable. Now, we can notice we have pushed into the 78.6% retracement in this recovery, in this relief rally, a couple of times actually, right? So we pushed the first time, we got rejected. We pushed the second time, we got rejected, and we even formed a lower low. This would incline me to believe that the likely outcome is to extend to lower prices. And one more thing we could theoretically be tracking in this overall correction is the idea of a triangle, but it is still too early to provide very strong levels to track within this idea. And I can explain why. So, firstly, this can only work out within the white structure. In the blue interpretation, we are tracking an ending diagonal, meaning that this wave 4 cannot work out as a triangle. Within the wave 4 of an impulse, it can. But even here, we would need to consider that this would be the wave A up, and this could be the wave B bottom. But the wave B bottom could get a reset, right? If we form a break below our previous swing low at around $20.7 and then we get a recovery, I would need to consider that this as a larger 3-wave structure would work out as a wave B. That is why we cannot provide the strongest and most clear breaks for such an interpretation. And what would probably benefit you more would be tracking a more generic area of support for direct continuation to higher prices. And for this, let's say we track it, I don't even know, in green. The break below the $20.4 level, the 78.6% retracement, the signal that this structure is likely extending already to lower prices. Now, if you really want to track these trend lines as well, we can connect the currently available lows, although we only get 2 touch points in both the lower and upper boundaries. We would be currently heading quite close towards the apex of this triangle, but once again, an internal wave B in the idea of a triangle could extend and form a reset. This doesn't need to be the wave B low. And there are some additional factors we could consider within this overall pattern, but I believe you have the most relevant levels to watch. We have the $23.4 level, where if we get a break above this last level of resistance, we have a good indication that we would see an extension, a reset of even the current wave 4, likely the blue scenario would be working out in that case. And then if we break below $20.4, we would be looking likely to see a breakthrough directly to lower prices. Now, we can take a quick look even in a smaller time frame here, where we have a similar pattern in this structure. I could track this even as another lower degree initial 5-wave move to the downside, where I might actually prefer one more low. So we can track an area of resistance based on the structure we currently have up to the $23.1 level, where this is, let's say, an earlier indication that we would also break the $23.4 level, right? If we get a sustained break above this level of resistance, there is a good chance we will get a break even above the next one. But of course, this is what the probabilities would suggest. I cannot guarantee that. And for now, I wouldn't go beyond this. You have the paths we would be expecting. Within the blue structure, we have a quite clear A, B, C pattern we would be expecting. Within the white structure, we have a few options. We could be tracking a larger impulse. We could be tracking a triangle within this wave 4, where unfortunately it could end up looking quite similar to this blue structure. But in the case of the blue structure, we would expect this to be a 5-wave move to the downside. In the case of the white structure, if this is to build a triangle, I would be tracking this as a wave D, and then we would have here a wave E, and the wave 5 would be a single wave, right? And I repeat myself for clarity. In the case of the blue structure, we would expect a 4 and a 5. In the case of the white structure, this could work out as a wave 5 directly, where this would have been part of the triangle itself. But again, even this is not necessary. And I know this can be a bit more complex, but that is why we focus on the levels of resistance and the levels of support, not particularly the counts. And I wouldn't personally recommend trying to catch the falling knife within this area as we extend to lower prices. But if you choose to do some small accumulation, it is completely your choice. Keep in mind, we do have some structural support at this previous low, but there is no guarantee it will face a recovery as it reaches this area. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoy our content and want to support us directly, check out our channel membership. And as a thank you for any of these actions, I would like to invite you to sign up to our channel newsletter, where you get access to our monthly top picks, where we identify for you high quality structures. Other than that, let me know what else you would like me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I wish you a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.